By a show of hands, how many of you make less than you think that you are worth? Why is that? It's time for you to put your foot down and say, enough. Luckily, you're here at the right time and the right place. The most wonderful real estate podcast ever is the path that you seek. I'm Dwanderful Twyford, and I have closed over 2,000 deals. I've been investing for over 30 years. I've seen all the markets, and I've done over $500 million worth of deals. I mean, think about that. $500 million worth of real estate. And I have a heart for you. I want you to walk my path with me. Your life is about to change. And do you know why? Because it's time to thrive in 25. Say it with me. It's time to thrive in 25. It's time to thrive to 25. Enjoy the show. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the most wonderful real estate podcast ever. I am your host, Dwanderful Twyford. I am America's most sought after real estate investor, and I'm so excited that you are on my podcast today. I have such a great guest today, so we're going to dive in and learn about Caleb here in a minute. I want to share some good news. The most wonderful real estate podcast ever recently reached 1 million downloads. So that's a very big deal for me. I was super excited, and that's all because of you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So now we need to reach 2 million. So that's our new goal. I took my name Dwan and Wonderful, and I made a new word, and Dwanderful. So you're a part of the Dwanderful universe today. And if you follow me regularly, you know we're going to have super great fun today. You can find me on all socials at Dwanderful, and my website, obviously, dwanderful.com. Take my real estate investing quiz, and let's see where you stand in your real estate investing career. So today, I have a very adorable Mr. Caleb David, and so we are going to find out, Caleb, what you're all about. So how are you today?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me, and I'm just really excited for our conversation.
Yeah, and you are so adorable, I want to tell you.
Oh, thank you.
So
You're very
adorable.
kind.
So adorable. I always say, isn't he so cute? Married?
Married.
Okay. Adorable, but married girl. So just keep that in mind. So what we do over here is I just have you give me like 2 minutes, just a couple sentences about what you do, and just tell me your socials so everything's at the top of the show notes. And then we're just going to come back and ask questions and find out how you became to be my amazing guest today. So we want to know, what is your deal?
Yeah. So my deal is I'm half Indian. People don't ever know what nationality I am. I am half East Indian and half American. So that will clear that up. I get any language spoken to me at any given minute. My background
That is cool. Indian,
yeah.
like as in the American Indians or Indians
No,
from
East
India?
Indian. Yeah. So
Wow.
I grew up a lot of my childhood living in India, and then coming back and forth to the United States, but moved to Oklahoma when I was 11 during the Gulf War. There was a
Wow.
lot of unrest happening in India at the time. And
But it
so
was.
moved back to the United States and ended up in middle of nowhere, Oklahoma, and graduated at 16, and just try to figure out what was next. And so my background is actually in the nonprofit world. I've got about 20 years of experience in the nonprofit sector and ran my own nonprofit called the Table Initiative until 2020 when the lovely COVID hit. And what we would do is we would take people overseas on trips to understand these social quote issues,
Really?
yes.
Oh, I really love this.
Yeah, so both my kids are adopted from Ethiopia. My daughter just graduated high school, which blows my mind. But, we did a lot of work in Ethiopia. I served on a board for a nonprofit that reunified kids who had been trafficked back to their families and then educated.
No way.
Communities.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, I love you so much already.
Oh,
I need
thank
2
you.
hours to talk to you today because this kind of stuff. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, so I've been to Ethiopia almost 30 times.
Wow.
And so we would take these quote issues, and I've taken people to the Syrian border in Jordan to sit with Syrian refugee families so they understood what the crisis was about and how they could humanize the situation and have a human experience with someone, having a meal together, talking face to face. And then we would find nonprofits that were doing incredible work, mostly run by locals, so that they could continue the good work in their own countries. So, like I said, I closed that in 2020. And actually, about 11 years ago, I fell into commercial real estate by accident. I was burnt out in the nonprofit sector. You know, you're dealing with a lot of heavy stuff, and you're not making a whole lot of money. And I knew that I needed to do something different. And so a friend came to me and they said, "Hey, so and so's looking for an assistant and a possible broker. Would you consider it?" And I was like, "Well, I can't go commission only. You know, I mean, this is a big jump. You know,
It's
and
a
I think
big
that's the
jump.
and people don't understand how in commercial real estate it takes you a solid 5 years of hitting the pavement and doing the work to get
Oh, no, I
established to make
know.
a name.
So before we get too far into that, give me all your social medias.
Yo, yes. So social media, Instagram is at Caleb David. Facebook is also facebook.com/Caleb David. I'm on LinkedIn at Caleb David as well. So those are the main ones where I post.
Nice. Well, I will be following you as of today. Actually, I really try not to get to read too much about my guests in advance because I really want to just like talk to you straight up, like, we're just meeting. But I can tell I already love your heart so much.
Oh,
But then
thank
I
you.
follow everyone. Then I'm like a stalker. So you'll see me. I go through. I like all the posts and all the stuff.
Hey, you know,
Now
it's
I do
about
want to talk about
connection.
the commercial, but I just want to jump back for 1 second.
Yeah.
So now what I did is nothing compared to you, but I went on a missions trip one time, and I am telling you, it changed my soul forever. I
Hmm.
had no idea really how people can live and how poor and just how, and even the TV commercials, they don't do justice to what
Hmm.
it's like. And I'm telling you, I came back. I mean, I've never been the same. I donate, I help with everything because it's shocking
Hmm.
as an American
Yeah.
that people are living their day in and day out lives in such terrible poverty
Yeah.
and the sex trafficking and all the things they do to kids these days. It's like, oh my God,
Yeah.
save the children.
Yeah, and I find though what you also, if you look hard enough, you find the beauty there,
Oh,
right?
you
And
do.
and and I think that's the thing that we come back that we get to learn, right?
Yeah.
It's not us going to do for someone else. It's getting to come alongside and building a relationship and living life together as much as possible.
Yeah, the one I went on, we built houses. So there was like a
Mhm.
team of 8, and we built a house.
Yeah.
Now these are houses that you and I probably would be like, what? And it's like it was six pieces of plywood on the ground, up a tin roof, a door,
Mhm.
and a window. Like really so crazy basic. But the family built this house for, I mean, I'm telling you, in that week we became so close to them. We were all
Mhm.
crying when we had to leave each other. And it's like, and I tell everyone, I'm like, those people did more for me
Yeah.
for sure than I did for them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Absolutely.
oh, that's great.
Absolutely.
But I hear you on the part, like doing it for decades and decades. It's hard. It's really,
Yeah,
oof.
it
I only
is.
did the one, and I was just like, yeah, I was traumatized for 5 years. And not that in a bad way. It's just, but yeah, when I came off that, the family, I still write them letters sometimes, and they translate. We can write back and forth, and it's just unbelievable. It's like, man, what you are able to do. But honestly, it's what they did for me. I was just
Mhm.
like, they're so kind, and people are poor, but they're so kind and they're so generous and
Yeah.
they're so loving, and they're not like Americans are just like, I'm blah, Americans are, and they're so
Yeah.
grateful for everything.
Yeah.
The
Absolutely.
gratitude was just like, really, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I was blown away by how grateful everyone is over everything.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And then I
Gratitude is
was too. I
huge.
was like, oh my God, I'm grateful because, and then they cooked for us, and I was like, oh, best food I ever ate. It's like, I could stay over here for a while.
Yes.
So I love that about you because a lot of people just don't, they just don't, they just don't help other people as much as they could. I feel
Yeah.
like if everybody would help, some of the tougher countries like that, yeah, it's a better world for everybody.
Well, I think we get overwhelmed with problems, whether it be stateside or overseas, and we tend to kind of get stuck. We get into this like just kind of frozen mode,
Yeah.
and we're not meant to solve all the problems. It's like
No, we're
what?
not meant to solve, but you know what? Even like in commercial, even like I'm in more residential, we're still helping people all the time.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's what I love about. Okay, so now I
Yes.
love commercial. I'm all about commercial. That's my new favorite thing that I've been doing for the last 5 years. So
Awesome.
for my 35 years of teaching and training, I have only gotten into commercial recently. So I'm all about loving commercial. So
That's
let's
amazing.
talk about what side, like where are you? What are you doing in the commercial arena? I trust that you are loving the podcast. Hey, do you really want to become a super kick-ass superstar real estate investor? Really? 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 All right, why don't you spend the next minute and just take my real estate investing quiz. Super fast, super quick. It'll let you know where you stand on your journey. The link is in the show notes, or you can go to Dwanderful.com. And back to the show.
Yeah, so I do a little bit of everything.
Okay.
I love how I find that, how retail is affected by the industrial market and vice versa, the office market, and understanding the psychology of all of that and where movement is happening. So I'm very much not a one niche kind of person.
Nice.
I definitely like to do a little bit of everything. Part of it is that, I'm pretty sure I have ADHD, and I like to
I
just
think all
dabble in
successful
everything.
people do.
Yeah.
That's how we work.
Yeah.
We have to have 87 boxes open that we're thinking about everything all the time.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, absolutely. So I love, and what you said exactly is what I took from the nonprofit world is treating people with dignity and respect. And commercial real estate has a reputation of just being someone in a high tower sitting in a corner office doing their thing. For me, it's more about how do I serve the community? And that is, I do that by serving with a small business development corporation. So I consult with small businesses to make sure that they're ready for commercial real estate. And if they're not, I point them in the right direction. And so very focused on education. Do I love the big deals? Absolutely. Love the checks, right? But we're in a market that those aren't happening as often. So
No,
we
I
have to
know it.
get creative. And so for me, it's understanding where the movement is and how do we get creative and educate people to have successful businesses, because this is their dream, right? This is they're quitting their job, they're taking
Yep.
out a loan, whether they're buying or leasing, there's a huge financial commitment. People don't understand how much goes into it. The zoning, just because you like a building doesn't mean that it's going to work for you. If
Oh,
you,
I know.
you know,
When I hear people say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to get into commercial," I'm like, "Well, who's helping?" "Oh, I was going to figure it out on my own." I'm like,
no,
"Listen, no,
no,
you cannot." I mean, I've been investing for 35 years. I only got into commercial heavy in the last 5, and even then, I talk to other people that do it because it wasn't in my wheelhouse. And
yeah.
I hear people tell me, "Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to buy a 100-unit, a complex," and it's like.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it,
Who's
right? I
helping?
mean,
Who's guiding? Who's mentoring you? You can't just, this is too
yes.
big of a chunk of piece to bite it off at one shot.
It is. And you've got to learn little by little and understanding the market. Do the small deals. Get out there, meet people, understand how title work, plays into things, how, contractors plan. You've got to build a team around you
Yeah.
and have those go-to people that are experts in areas that you are not, so that you can guide your clients through, not just to get through the transaction and get a check, but to go back in 2 or 3 years and they're still there and they're ready for their second location or whatever it might be. They might be ready to buy since they've been leasing for the first 3 to 5 years. So it's really, for me, very much about impacting the community and setting people up for long-term success.
Nice. So now are you helping people buy like a commercial building that would have retail and this and that? Or are you helping people syndicate? Or are you
Great
helping people
question.
like open, like, I'm going to open this one building and put a store in there, shopping malls? Like,
Yep.
where are you all of it?
All except for syndication. And I'm just not there yet. And, as of right now, I don't have an interest in it. I think there's people that do it and do it very well. And I want to be an expert in what I do. So yes, I mean, the helping someone open up a store, help them purchase a property. We've done lease to own type situations,
Nice.
office buildings. We're in a season of the world where people need therapists a lot. So I've done a lot of therapy offices, so nonprofits, restaurants, retail, a little bit of everything, and keeps it fun.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, obviously I talk to a lot of people who are into syndications and stuff like that, but I don't know. I'm more of a person, like, I'd rather have someone like you help me get a building and whatever. I'm going to open a business there, so whatever.
Yeah.
Opposed to, like, let me just put some money and let it sit there for years and then I get something back.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would rather be more hands-on.
Yes.
So,
Absolutely.
I'm
Because I
not
think there's,
against syndication. I'm just not a huge fan of it because
yeah.
you're just sitting back, and I get it. People are like, oh, I don't want to work. I just want to sit back and make money on my money. But it's like, where's the fun in that?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think too, understanding tenant mix is a huge thing, especially in retail buildings, medical buildings as well, where you have different types of specialists that feed off of each other. And so having a broker that's helping an investor purchase a property to evaluate the cash flow, to evaluate the market, what kind of vacancies are there, what kinds of tenants would be ideal, so I love helping. That's one of my favorite things, to help a client acquire a building, go through the planning, understand what needs to be done, fill it up, and then whenever they're ready to dispose of it, be there to help them dispose of it.
No, I love that. Now, are you nationwide or do you work with people out in Oklahoma?
Nope, just in Colorado. So I'm
Oh,
licensed in
Colorado.
Colorado. Yep, I moved to Colorado
You're
and
in
I
my
love that.
state.
I'm in your state. Yes.
Where are
So
you
I
in Colorado?
I'm based in Castle Rock. My office is in Colorado Springs.
Oh,
And I just recently joined Keller Williams as their commercial director in Colorado Springs
nice.
after being independent for almost 6 years on my own, but time for new energy and all of that. So it's been a good move. But I work up and down the Front Range. I don't do anything on the Western Slope.
Yeah.
But, I've done all the way up from Loveland down to Pueblo.
Do you know where Bailey is? Like you come over towards 285, like Evergreen, then you keep going
Yes.
up and up and up and up and up and up to
Yep.
9,000 feet. That's where we are.
Love it. It's a beautiful part. It's a beautiful
Well, now
part of
that
the
you're so
state.
close, we'll have to have lunch sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I love that. Yeah. Colorado's a great state. There's a lot
hmm
going on here.
hmm
And ever since they legalized weed, we have so much growth here all the time.
It's true. It's
It's
true.
like
There's been a lot of growth.
people are just moving in, moving in, moving in, moving in. It's like, oh my God, people stop.
Yeah.
Making
No,
the
but
highways too busy.
especially summertime, we get a lot of visitors, but it's a great place to be and a great place to live, and a great community. So I feel really lucky to be a part of it.
Yeah. No, I love it too. When I met my husband, I was living in Florida and I'm from Ohio. So I had been living in Florida for, I don't know, 2 decades already. So when I first came to Colorado, I had never been to the state. I had never seen these big mountains.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, look at these giant mountains. Like this is in the same country as where I have Florida down there that's like flat, flat, flat. There's
Yeah.
not even a hill in the state. And I remember the first couple times I came up to the mountains, like to go skiing or snowmobiling or something, I was blown away. It's like, I don't understand how these mountains are so huge.
Yeah.
They're
That's
so
massive.
big.
It's
It's,
massive.
yeah, it is very pretty. Yeah, we've been having really good weather too.
We
When up
do.
in the mountains, it's been thundering for days. It's like, oh, light the fire. It's thundering. It's raining. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
it could not be any cozier.
It's so great. So
So
great.
now tell me an actionable tip. So someone is listening today, they're like, hey, I really like Caleb David. I'm interested in a commercial. What would be like a step, like a tip or a step that someone would be like, hey, should be like my first step. I'm
Yeah.
interested. What is something they should do like first?
I think the first thing they need to do is understand what their goals are. They need to identify what is their desired outcome.
Okay.
And I think then you work backwards from there because, the market may not support what that goal is. So we might have to have a change of expectation or a change of location to get what they're looking for. And this can be for someone looking to buy their own property or to invest. And you have to understand what's going on in the area and identify what is my desired outcome. So I always start
Okay.
with clients from the very beginning. We establish what is your end goal. And then we move backwards and then we move towards doing the research, getting the data, and finding out, is this something that we can take the next actionable step?
Okay.
And then obviously financing is a huge part of that. Are they going to
Yep.
do a 1031 exchange? Are they, what are they looking for? They need to understand because your end goal depends. If you're just getting an SBA loan and be an owner user, that's completely different than an investor that's going to have to put 25 to 30% down, right? And the numbers have to pencil for your lender. And so being informed and understanding what is the right move and being willing and flexible to pivot as needed. Because sometimes it's about timing, you
Yes.
know?
It is so much about timing. And people, I mean, I find that a lot of people get, I want to do this.
hmm
And then it's like, well, that doesn't,
Yes.
the market doesn't support that, and they don't want to
Yes.
pivot. They want to just try and figure this out. And next thing you
Yeah,
know, so what they do is they find a different person to help them looking for like a different answer, like the answer that they want. And they may go through five
exactly.
different people and someone goes, oh, I'll help you do that. Then they lose
Yep.
all their money. It's like you
Well,
got to
and
be flexible. You have to be able to pivot. You have to change with the markets. You
yeah.
can't get too attached to I always tell people, don't get attached to the outcome.
Yes. Well, and you nailed it. Is like people do like to go around and hear what they want to hear, right? And someone to pat them on the head and said, "Yes, that's a great idea." Our job is to tell the truth. Our job is to help somebody be successful. And if we know that there's a bridge out and they're driving straight towards it, like I want to be able to sleep at night. I want to be able to tell them, "You need to slow down." You know, because this affects lives, right? It affects their family, it affects their income. So, and that's another actionable step is find the right broker. Find a broker who's asking you questions,
Hmm.
right? Don't just say, "Here's what I want, go get it." That's a disaster waiting to happen because it's very prescriptive and it doesn't take any nuance or humanness or business into consideration.
Yeah.
I have people all the time that are like, "I want to get this 10 multifamily thing." Well, here's what you need to understand. The multifamily market in Colorado Springs has been picked over. I mean, some buildings have been sold 3 times in the last 5 years.
Oh my
So
goodness.
someone comes in, it needs work, they add a little value, they increase the rents, they turn around and sell it. Next person does that. So your basis ends up being way higher. This is not the right time to find multifamily.
Yep.
You might find something off market, and that's something that you need to work with a broker that's willing to help you look off market as well as on market, and that has relationships with people in the community that they can go to and they can say, "Hey, do you have anything coming up? Do even other brokers? Having good relationships with other brokers is vital."
Yep.
With lenders, I mean, we get referrals like that all the time. And same thing, a tip that I tell people all the time is build relationship with residential realtors
Yep. I tell
because
people all the time because we run the Colorado area. So
Mhm.
so I should have you come over and speak at our group sometime. So it's over here in Denver. It's called Colorado area. And I tell people like, listen, you cannot do this alone. You
Yeah,
need a real estate agent. You need a mortgage broker. You need a title company. You need all these people. It is not a one man show. And then
yes,
I always say, like, find someone where your moral compass aligns, and
hmm,
that's who you should work with. Like someone like
absolutely.
you, you're obviously trying to help people.
Hmm.
And other people in your shoes might just be all about the money. How can I
Yeah,
make the most amount of money? And
yep,
so my motto is 3 words: people before profits.
yeah,
It's like if you can't help the people and not worry about the money, if you're all about the money,
yeah. And you know what? That's a hard balance. That is something that is a battle every single day because, like I said, we've been in a really tough market the last 3 years. So things have been tough. And honestly, I've been on the verge of bankruptcy twice in the last 3 years. But success is not defined by that money. It
no,
is
it's not.
defined by how you show up for people.
Yep.
And I believe that there's enough abundance in the world, there's enough work in the world for us all to be able to do our jobs, do it well. But unfortunately, you don't find that a whole lot in the Colorado broker market, in the commercial
Yeah.
market.
I don't
It is
think you
very
find that in
driven
any
by
broker
money.
markets. Everyone's really just worried about their own paycheck and what can they do and how fast can they make money and da da da. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I've just always like taught people and helped people along the way. So I see people that don't do that. I'm like, oh, for the love of God, please don't work with that person.
Yeah, yeah, 100%, 100%. And I do.
Uh,
I love, even if it's a broker with a different firm, if they're brand new, like I remember the very few brokers that showed me respect and kindness when I first started in the market. Everybody else was just, they're beating you down. They're trying to make you look like an idiot so they look better. But we don't know what we don't know. And as long as we're curious and as long as we're teachable, those are things. I remember there being brokers that would just lob me softballs to just hit out of the park so that I looked good in front of my client. So, I love working with younger brokers that are coming into the market that don't necessarily have that guidance, to be able to help get them on their way.
yeah, no, I couldn't agree more with you. I love what you do. And you always have that background of all the nonprofit stuff that you did. So I feel like that kind of carries with you.
Absolutely. I mean, treating people with respect and dignity, and we see very often, there are minorities in our community that are the next gem business. They're the ones who are going to bring a lot of life, but a lot of brokers don't want to deal with them because they have an accent or whatever. But it's like, slow down, you
Yeah.
know? Slow down. We're here to serve people. So let's do that. And if you need to get someone to help you with translation or whatever, you know, because that's where the Hispanic market is what, at least in Colorado Springs, that is the next wave of businesses that are really going to make a huge impact on the economy.
Yeah.
So how do we position them for that success? And I love working with minority communities because
I do
I
too. And the thing about, and nothing against like white people, but the minority communities, they're more grateful.
hmm
They just are. And listen,
Yep.
I'm white. I'm not doing a white privilege thing here. I'm just telling you, when you work with like a Hispanic or some of the other minorities, they just seem like so much more appreciative that
Yes.
you're listening and you're hearing them and you're helping them. You're not just trying to just bully them into something. And,
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know. I really love the Hispanic people. I
I
like
mean,
the
culture's
greatest.
incredible, and I think that diversity makes all of us do better. And I think we learn so much more. I mean, I learned gratitude, like you just said, like the reminder of, oh, I've got to be thankful. I've got to be grateful for those who are helping me.
Yep.
It's not just me being the one I want somebody to say thank you to me. It's yes, that's great. However, our we just it's we got to do it like a community, right? Like
You're
that's
preaching to the choir right here, honey. I am
yeah.
with you. So, all right, listen, we're going to jump topics. Let's talk a little bit
Okay.
about you personally.
Yeah.
What is your favorite band of all time?
Wow, great question. Oh, that's tough. I would probably have to say either Coldplay or Keen.
Coldplay or who?
Keen?
Heme?
Keen,
Oh,
Keane.
okay. I don't know who they are. Okay, I'm going
Yep,
to do some YouTube
they're from
listening
the UK.
today.
They got a similar vibe to Coldplay.
So, what do you think about that Coldplay, that Kiss Cam?
Yeah, I mean the memes were a little out of control after that. You
Oh,
think
I
it's like,
know, but
all
they
right.
both just like ducked. It's like, listen,
Yeah.
you've already been seen. You should have just went like, I'm sorry. Oh, I like Coldplay too. I like
Yeah.
Coldplay too. And Keen. So I'm gonna go. Very rarely does someone name a band I don't know because I'm a super music lover. I mean, I love
Yeah.
music from the '40s all the way through. So
Yeah.
very rarely does someone name a band I'm not familiar with. So then I'm gonna have to go YouTube after this
Yeah.
and listen to
And
some
I
music.
bet you'll recognize some of their stuff.
Yeah, I probably will. I probably will. My husband and I, we have, my son has four kids, so we have four grandkids. So
Awesome.
they're 5 and 6, and then they're 9 and 10. The girls are 9 and 10. So Bill and I are really huge music. Music is on in my house 24 hours a day. There's music on all day, all night, music, music. Music. So we're like, you know what? Let's teach the kids about music.
Yeah.
Now we graduated high school in the 70s. So I'm like, you know what? We'll start back with like 60s and 70s because there's no cursing in the music.
Right.
And then we started listening to things a little more recent. Like, oh my God, they all say the F word. It's like these are children. I can't, even Taylor Swift, I was like, oh my God, she says the F word in every single song. So
Yeah.
so so basically my grandkids know every classic rock song, band, the
Love it.
words to probably 200 songs. They listen to music and they go into their teachers and like, hey, I just listened to this Rolling Stone song and I know this and I know that and I know Brian Adams and they know
Yeah.
they wear all their t-shirts and I took them to a Pat Benatar concert. And it's so cute because they just love music so
Love
much.
it.
And I told my kids, my son and his wife, I'm like, listen, you guys can listen to whatever you want with those kids, but I'm not teaching them anything with all
Yeah.
that suggestive. And in the 70s, there was not a curse word in a song. And then it
Yep.
started changing in the 80s. And then by the 90s, it's just like, and now it's just like, oh my God, I can't even. So
But
my,
I will say that my favorite two concerts I've ever been to was Adele and Alanis Morissette.
oh, I loved Atlanta and I love Adele too. Really good.
Yeah,
So yeah, so we're teaching our kids we got them little guitars and drums and they have
that's awesome.
pianos and do little concerts, but they love music. So now we're back to the 60s. They're learning the Beach Boys and the Beatles and And they're just like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I love this music. And then their teachers are like, how old are you guys?
Right.
Why do you know all these bands, like every single solitary band from the 70s? What's your favorite food?
Oh, Indian food.
Oh, I love Indian food. Up here in Bailey, not in Bailey, right in Conifer, we just got our first Indian food restaurant.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, because I
It's
love it.
comfort
And I always
food.
have to drive to Denver for it. And I'm like, oh my God, after living here for 20 years, I'm like, we finally have Indian food in the mountains. Okay, so this is for you. So
Okay.
let's say, have you ever spoken at any of the conferences or been up on the big stages?
A couple of times.
Okay, so you're going to a conference, you're up on the big stage, and there's a song playing when you walk on stage. What
Oh,
song is playing for you?
wow. That's a good question. I would have to say, now that I'm in my mid 40s, probably from The Greatest Showman, This Is Me.
Oh, I love that. You cannot believe how many people can't come up with a song at all. It's like, yeah, but if you're walking on that stage, like, what are you
What do you want to
presenting? What are you
feel?
coming out
Yeah.
there? Well, how do you feel? What's your
Yeah.
thing? Mine
Yeah.
would be We Are the Champions by Queen.
I love it.
I'd be like, yes, we are. We're the champions. This is my song. I love The Greatest Showman. What a good show that
Great.
was.
So good.
Okay, so I have two more questions.
Yep.
What can we in the Dwanderful world, what can we do to help you reach your next goal? What is your next goal?
Yeah. My next goal is to build a larger team.
Okay.
So if there's people out there looking to get into commercial real estate, or even better, has some experience but are looking for a culture that is not corporate and a culture that is about people,
Mm,
then I would like to hire some great commercial brokers to start producing and be able to multiply the vision that I have on how we serve people. So that's one. The other is just reaching out to us, asking us questions. How can we help you? We do free consultations for people all the time. We
nice.
evaluate, even if they're not ready to sell or lease or whatever, we want to help people get to where they need to go. So when the time comes and they do need help, we have a team that's here to support them.
Nice. Okay, so everyone, that's it. So if you're interested in commercial, and even if you want to buy, I'm sure you're always looking for buyers
Yeah.
too. When you be
Yeah.
part of a team, Caleb is your guy right here. So one of the things I'm a firm believer in, we are all on the same team. Real
Yeah.
estate investing is not a one-man show. It cannot be a one-man show. And I always want to help support whatever you're doing because you're doing something different than what I do. And I can't teach
Yeah.
everybody everything because I don't do everything.
Yeah.
So I'm always like, listen, for what you do, this is not my forte. I'm not
Yep.
really going to be able to help someone. I'd have to send them to somebody else like you. So
Yep.
I always want to help people reach their goals. And I know, no matter how long you've been investing, you have bigger goals, things grow, ideas get bigger. So we always
Yep.
want to be a part of helping you reach your goals. So folks, there you go. And if you're interested, and he's in a great area, I can attest to the great area over there, looking to invest some money. I feel like Caleb
Yeah.
would be the man for you, man.
I'd be happy to help.
Okay, one last question. I want you to leave us with a word of wisdom, but only a word. A word.
Mm. This is it's it's become kind of cliche, but I think the word that resounds with me most is authentic.
Oh, okay. Now hold on. Let me write it down first. Okay, so people that follow me on the regular, they know that at the end of every podcast, I have my guests give us a word of wisdom. And I used to just say, hey, give us a parting word, and people would go on for 20 minutes. It's like, my God, stop already. I just want a word, a word. So I tell everyone, get a little yellow sticky, write authentic, stick it on your bathroom mirror when you're brushing your teeth. This week you say authentic, authentic, authentic. You repeat the word over and over. It becomes our word of a week. But what does it mean to you?
I think it means showing up for who you really are and being willing to do the work on yourself, doing the shadow work, um, and giving yourself grace, right? Like being able to show up in a situation and be like, you know what, I'm going to screw up. And that's okay. I'm going to do the best that I can. And once I know to do better and know how to do better, then I will. And I think, we're so often caught up into what commercial real estate is supposed to look like, what investing is supposed to look like, what a dad's supposed to look like. but it's like, just show up, have the courage to show up into spaces as yourself, because that's what people are drawn to. The people who aren't drawn to you are not your people, and that's okay.
That's right. I tell people all the time, I say, listen, I've got pink hair. I am certainly not everybody's cup of tea. But for the people that are drawn to me, we're the perfect fit.
Yeah.
And I think people want to be like, oh, I want to train the world. I want to work with the world. Hey, the whole
Yeah.
world's not your cup of tea.
No.
You got to find someone like you just said, like just be yourself, be who you are. The right people will like you, and the ones that don't, then we
Fine.
go back to the old thing, like my give a damn's busted. So I
I was just gonna say that.
we
We
don't
talked
care.
about that right before we started recording, and that's it. My give a damn is busted.
But you know what? That's really hard for people to do,
Yeah.
especially when you're in like your 20s, your 30s. Like you're a little bit getting up into your 40s, but it's for women especially. I think it takes us to we're like 50, 55 to really
Mm,
just be like, I'm not going to be a people pleaser. I'm going to quit doing all
yeah.
that. I'm going to be myself. It's hard to do
Yeah. It is.
because we're just, people worry too much. But I've been like that for a while. And I raised my girls. I'm like, listen, I'm telling you right now, you're never going to be a people pleaser. You're never going to try to make everybody happy because when you do that, you're the unhappy one.
Yeah. 100%.
So, well,
100%.
awesome. And just one more time, how do people find you on the socials?
If they find me, they can follow me on Instagram at Caleb David. They can also find me on Facebook, Caleb David as well. You can follow us if you want to learn more about my company, David Commercial. That is at David Commercial. So same thing on Facebook, Instagram. I do have a TikTok, which is at Caleb25David. I don't know how to use it. So, Instagram's probably your best bet.
Yeah, I know. I used to like Facebook the most, but now I'm like I really like an Instagram. Although
Yeah.
I've become a little bit of a TikTok junkie lately, not posting but just watching videos.
Watching. Yeah.
I just
Well,
like, oh my God, there's so many crazy people in the world. I am so
there are.
amused by TikTok right now.
Absolutely. Well, the other thing I did forget to mention is if people are interested in more commercial real estate, they can come over to our podcast, which is Commercial Real Estate Unfiltered. That's on YouTube, Apple, Spotify. And if they just go to my website, davidcommercial.com, they can find the first 20 or so episodes.
Yep, and I'm going to be a guest on his podcast. So go over
Yes,
there because if I'm going to be on there, it's going to be great.
absolutely.
All right, first of all, I want to thank you so much for your time today and being on the show with me, and make sure we're okay on our time. And all of you listening, again, I appreciate you. I understand how valuable time is, and if you're really young, you don't get it yet. But when you get older, time becomes more valuable. So I appreciate you spending your time with me today and with Caleb. And I can't keep growing my podcast without your help. So go to the most wonderful real estate podcast ever. It's on every single solitary place that podcast can be. Leave a 5-star review, write something nice, share it, subscribe, do all of the things so I could keep growing and keep bringing you amazing content. And again, Caleb, thank you. I love your heart. I'm so happy we got a chance to talk and get to know each other today. And for
Thank you so
everybody
much.
else, we'll be back next week, same bat time, same bat channel. And remember that the truth is in the red letters. All right, everyone, have a good week. Ciao. I am so glad that you stuck around. I almost forgot to tell you. In addition to having this amazing educational podcast, I'm now able to work with you one-on-one. Yes, one-on-one, you and me working together, and have a 3-deal guarantee. 3-deal guarantee that you'll close 3 deals. So you have nothing to lose. You have everything to gain. Take the quiz. Go to Dwanderful.com. Take the real estate investing quiz. See you on the other side.